I'm gonna give you a foolproof recipe for homemade bagels. Absolutely delicious. If you love a bagel, then this is for you. So let's do this. Here I have got 750 grams of strong flour. And then we will make a well in the middle with your hands. So in here, we're gonna go in with 450 mils of tepid water. That means lukewarm, blood temperature. And then I wanna add the yeast. Now when you buy yeast, it's often, or nearly always, in these little sachets here. So 7 grams of our dried yeast goes into the tepid water. Just use your fork to whisk in the yeast. The heat and the water will wake the yeast up. Then I'll go in with 3 teaspoons of sugar. I'm just using a nice light golden sugar there. That will give it not just the ability to wake up the yeast, but also a gentle, very subtle sweetness. Then I'm gonna add 3 level teaspoons of salt. So that goes in. Mix that up first, and then start taking the flour from the outside to the inside. And it will go to like a porridge-like consistency and get thicker and thicker. You can see at this stage it's getting elastic. Can you see how stretchy it's looking? And as you bring it together, you can bring more and more flour in. Now I'm using hands, right? With a light touch of your hand, just move it around. So I normally would knead this for like 10 minutes. So we'll keep it moving, just bringing in those little bits of extra flour as you need. And once it's come together, you can be a bit more brutal. You can pick it up and throw it down and pull it apart and roll it back up, pick it up, throw it down. If you have a little look at it, you know, we've got a really nice, smooth, elastic, beautiful dough. There you go. A nice sort of little therapeutic knead up. Of course you can use, you know, a machine and let that do all the hard work, but somehow it doesn't feel quite as romantic. So there you go. A lovely dough. Kiss a little bowl with a tiny bit of oil, just so it doesn't stick. And put your dough in here. Look how lovely and soft and shiny that is. So let that prove for about an hour and a half in a bowl, rubbed with oil. Get yourself a clean tea towel, and I would just run some hot water on it. Just wring out your tea towel, which has been put in the hot water, right? And we'll just lay that over the top like that. So lots of stuff is now happening in this little world that we've created. So an hour and a half, it will double in size, and then I'll show you what to do next. So an hour and a half later, we have a beautiful dough that has doubled in size. Look at that. When we turn it out, it is just so bubbly. Just peel it, tease it away from the edge. It smells amazing. So we want to knock back the dough. That means bash the air out of it. So we just knock that out, and then we can start to just knead it again. Let's just get a knife. Okay, so divide this roughly, or as best as you can, into 2. And then each half will go into 3. Try and get it about right. So look, we've divided it into 6 balls, roughly. You can see I'm double-handing them, you know, just to look pro. A little dusting of flour just stops anything sticking outrageously. Each dough we're now going to take into half, like that. What I do is I put a little bit of pressure on the dough, and I use my fingers like a little kind of cage. And I push the palm down until you get traction, right? And you go in a circle, and then you start to push your fingers up and take the pressure off, and then you get that lovely little dough. And once you do a few, you'll just kind of get the spirit of it, and it's going to be lovely. Pressure down, pressure off, lovely ball. Okay, so we've got our 12 beautiful balls there. Over here, by the way, this is kind of the really different part of making your very own bagels. Boiling water, that's the first part of cooking. Boiling, then baking. And that will give you that kind of chewier, spongier texture that's quite unusual, particularly to bagels. Now, the one ingredient that goes in here that is, I guess, unusual is bicarbonate of soda. So that's particularly used in baking to give lift and bubbles, but often you see it in recipes for noodles, or in this case, the bagel. It kind of gives a kind of bouncier outside, and also will help to change the pH of the dough on the outside so it goes golden and really beautiful when you bake it. Now we're going to get thumbing. Now, thumbing is a particularly nice thing to do. Get one's thumb and then put it in the flour, put it in your dough, move it around, take it off, and then you can just stretch the dough and do this. And as soon as you've done that, you want a nice little circle, and there's your potential bagel. You want to go a little bit bigger because it kind of does tend to shrink back again. So be generous, don't be too aggressive with it. And then we can poach it, right? So we'll lay that down there. Second thumbing, unusually therapeutic. Get the kids involved, get no one involved. Maybe just go thumbing on your own. So there you go, a beautiful array of well-thumbed bagels. So now we go into the water. I will season it with a little salt actually. We'll get that simmering. You can just extend that hole a little bit as you lay it in like that. So we're going to give that about a minute on each side, and then we're going to get them in lovely trays. So look at these, they're plumping up really nicely. Once you've done your 2 minutes in the boiling water, take them out, drain them. So let me show you what we're going to do here. So egg wash them first, right around the edge, right in the middle. Then we'll take the sesame seeds and generously sprinkle them on top. Poppy seeds on the other. With the lovely sunflower seeds, they are delicious and they have quite robust outer shells. I personally think instead of just throwing them on, which you can do, just crush those sunflower seeds, and on the inside you just get more flavour, more texture, and I think they eat better. So in the ovens these are going to go. The oven has been preheated to 200 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to cook these for around about 25 minutes. Now, this is a fan oven, so it should be pretty even, and they will be golden and delicious. And then the only question you have to ask yourself is, what are you going to do with them? Delish. So here they are, they absolutely smell amazing. So let's just have a quick look. You can see it's going to be really crisp on the outside and spongy on the inside. I'm just going to get a serrated knife and cut into this. Just use the length of the knife. So look, let's get some butter on there. You could go, you know, conserves, jams, savoury, smoked salmon, beautiful salt beef. There's so much you can do with it. Let's have a little try. Oh, it's still got the chew, but it's so delicate and elegant and spongy. So good, guys. What are you waiting for? If you want to have a go at making your very own homemade bagels, this is the recipe for you. It's really good fun to make, and I know you're going to just love it. Enjoy.